Look at you, sitting on your couch there doing nothing. Why don't you subscribe to heritagehiphop.com?
Welcome back to Heritage Hip Hop. And if you see the man that I have in front of me, you know this is a treat. I've been talking about you since last year. As a matter of fact, you won a tie for Unsigned Artist Album of the Year.
Yes, when I saw that, I felt so good, man. Like I like my last album. I love my last album, but just to know that anybody else feels like it's anything that's, you know, top any number. It's just, I really appreciate that, especially in your eyes, because you got really well trained ears, and you put me on a lot of dope music.
I appreciate that.
I listened to everything from the last interview, by the way.
Oh, so we're gonna go over that.
Yes.
So everybody who's watching, this is Savage, the king of Montclair, New Jersey.
I hope so, but don't forget my brother Jay Wonder. He might, you know.
When he comes on, we'll talk about it.
All right, sure.
So how you been, man?
I've been good. I've been happy. I've been like super happy. Like, I don't want to say for once, but for a long time I've been happy.
That's good. Let's transition from where we were before we get to the now.
Okay.
The Gray Area came out, and I gave you a lot of respect because from some Odd World to the Gray Area, there was a lot of growth. And from that period to the construction of the new album, Trust the Weird Kids, out now, go get it. How did your lyrical technique change?
I think something that definitely changes, I paid more attention to consistent multi-syllable rhyming. Like, a lot of times I feel like as long as the message is being portrayed the way that I want it to be, I can change the rhyme every 4 bars. There's not many of that on this album. There's some verses, there's not a verse where I rhyme the same word the whole time, but technically there is, because there's a 32 bar verse where I stay on the same rhyme for 16 of those bars.
So you got more technical.
Yes, way more technical.
But
I really cared about it.
But you went more clarity than wordy.
Yes.
It shows, because on this album, the double entendres are heavy.
Thank you, my brother.
Especially in Don't.
Don't
and Bullies. You did a lot of double entendres, and that got me like, yo, he's really studying. Like, this guy's not just rapping. He has a message.
Thank you.
I hate to put it this way, but I'm going to put it in a very aggressive way.
Okay.
You're getting to the level of Fonte from Little Brother.
No, you wildin'.
No,
you
I'm
wildin',
not.
Cause
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yo, if you put me on to him, so this is me humbly saying, I've only been listening to everything that he's dropped for the past couple of years for about a year now. Like, The Good Fight, that song alone,
Yes.
I'm still trying to figure out how can I make something like that.
Nobody's selling.
Yo,
Yeah.
like, bruh. But I'm not going to not accept a compliment like a pretty girl seeking more compliments.
Right.
I'm going to just straight up say,
You're humble.
I'm honored.
Yes.
I'm very honored to be mentioned in the same breath as Fonte. He's a dope MC.
Well, you're taking those steps because you, Sky Zoo, and Fonte, even Joel Ortiz, y'all are very double entendre, like heavy.
Yeah.
Wyclef used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So me doing my history while listening, because you sent me the album early, thank you. But in really, like I didn't listen to the album only, I absorbed it. Like, I really went into the sounds, the music, the rhymes, even the hidden message with the track listing. I went into everything. And I'm just amazed at your growth.
Thank you.
Because from Some Odd World to Trust the Weird Kids, hip hop is very spoiled. Because hip hop gets a good amount of tracks, but not a good amount of great music. But because the crack is so good, people just want the new thing and they don't appreciate what they have. How does that fuel you as a creator, an artist, where you put out something fabulous, but people are still asking for something more and not absorbing what you've already given them?
I mean, just to go back to the reference that you did, everybody can cook crack. but who can cook crack the best? I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm just saying who can do it better than many others, and make you come back to that person. I mean, I don't know what it's like to smoke crack, but I'd imagine that if you smoke some crack that's better than somebody else's, that's your new dealer.
Right.
So that's what I want. I want to be metaphorically doper than the next man. So it's like I'm not really spoiling anybody, and they'll be able to wait for it. You know how you can like just really wait for a J. Cole project, even if like sometimes you're just like, dang, like. But all you can think about is the last time that I waited this long for a project or something like that. Mm-hmm. He gave us this. Mm-hmm. It makes it all worth it. You might walk those extra blocks for that other dealer.
So you're not the best?
I can't answer that question. I don't. It depends on what you're talking about.
Well, we're still talking about the growth between the gray area and Trust the Wear kids. Mm-hmm. And when ZZ came out, I seen goat horns. I seen videos. So that was mostly. I don't want to say that was all marketing. I don't think that's all marketing, but I feel like I am the greatest of all time at what I specifically do. I never say I'm the greatest of all time at rap. I never say I'm the greatest of all time at hip hop or at specifically rapping. Or I just feel like nobody can beat me better than me. Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the reason why like there's so many GOATs out there. It just depends on what you're saying the GOAT is. Some people will say like say oh, Savage is the GOAT. What? He's not the greatest of all time. He just started. He ain't even blow up yet. I'm not saying what I'm great at, so how are you that judgmental off rip? And for rappers who say that, that shows your insecurity. You shouldn't be worried about what I mean. You're gonna starve.
But that's the point of the game. It's the competition. Because if I flipped it, I would say you're reminiscent of Fonte, but you're in the vein of Kendrick Lamar as well. Because you reinvented yourself every major project for a new.
Kendrick's not the first person to do that.
I know.
I love Kendrick though. But
Redman did it.
Yes.
Because what the album, There's a Dark Side and Muddy Waters, first three albums, they're three totally different genres. Yep. They're all hip hop.
Yep. It went like really grungy to like really funky.
Yeah, you know. And on a side note, Kwame did it. And we talked about Kwame in your first interview.
Yes.
Kwame is the first Kanye West. He's the boy genius of hip hop. So your lane is sprinkled with greatness. So that's a hard task to follow. Because when somebody calls you great, that's the pressure is I have to always deliver. But when you deliver, you always make people fall back and reflect. What does it mean to be a reflective MC rather than a state of the moment MC?
Longevity. I think that's. I'm trying to expand on that, but I feel like that one word really defines exactly what you said. Somebody who's more who cares about their craft more will last longer. Sometimes it's a really it's an uphill battle, but it's always well worth it than somebody who blows up off of a song overnight and they do what's called microwave rap.
Yeah, there's a lot of that out right now. Shout out to Lil Yachty. Yeah.
Whoa, nah, you ain't gonna say Lil Yachty.
I got to.
You know what's funny with Lil Yachty? He does care about the culture though.
I got it. You can't say Biggie's overrated and care for the culture.
That's true, but he's grown so much. You gotta understand.
That's what's up.
He's really young. I feel like that's no excuse because I think younger than Lil Yachty or the same age, but where he's from also and being young does matter.
Where's he from?
He's from. Is he from? Did he grow up in Atlanta? No, he grew up in some place that just wasn't really well informed on hip hop. Maybe, but if it was Atlanta, maybe if you would have said something about Andre 3000 with him being my age, maybe he would have been like, "Oh, Andre 3000, that's one of the GOATs." Actually, in one video, he was in the back seat of Erykah Badu's car, vibing out with her, so he know who Erykah Badu is. He got a lot of respect for her. But it's like you take somebody who's like all right, what's his name, Lil Xan, who I think he said he felt like Tupac wasn't over, or he doesn't listen to Tupac. He hasn't listened to a song of Tupac or something like that. But
that wouldn't bother me though.
But he's from Canada.
But that wouldn't bother me, for the simple fact, from the time I was born, when I was in my 20s, I didn't listen to Motown music. I had to discover Motown. But the greatest of all time to me in my youth was always Michael Jackson. So then when you get into Michael Jackson, he said, well, these are my influences that makes you check it out if you love music.
Yeah.
And that's what I think separates you.
But wait, he said Biggie's overrated. He didn't say Biggie's trash.
Doesn't matter.
I personally don't think Biggie's overrated, but I think I could understand why. Like, if you talk about, because hip hop was so different back then, and although there's a lot of trash in it in the genre, it's become so much more complex. There's certain things that came out that I guess like Eminem has done, and I guess Kendrick is doing right now, that could make somebody say, if you compare like Kendrick Lamar to Biggie, and I hate to say this because it's gonna sound bad, but if they both came out right now and Biggie dropped the album, the great 2 albums that he did, and Kendrick dropped the 3 or 4 great albums that he did, people would say that Kendrick is better than Biggie. But because Biggie didn't get to continue going at that time,
I beg to differ.
You beg to differ?
I think Hypnotize is better than most of Kendrick's library.
Hypnotize. Sing that one for me, please.
Biggie.
Can't you see? Sometimes.
So that's the crossover pill. I think that's better than a whole lot.
So
of
you think
catalog.
Biggie out rap? And I'm not even a big Kendrick Lamar fan like that. I love the.
Can he out rap Kendrick Lamar? It depends on what style you like. See,
so if you're talking about catchy singles,
yeah,
compare DNA to Hypnotize.
Hypnotize will win because you can dance to it.
Oh, all right. We're talking about dancing. Okay, dance songs.
If you're gonna give me a Kendrick song that will go towards that, the only catchy one he has is All Right.
You don't think King Kunta was catchy?
It was more hook ready. You talking about the overall song?
Yeah.
King Kunta's a classic.
Yeah.
By far. It's
I'm not
Hypnotized though.
All right, Hypnotize. But you're like bringing the nostalgia factor in.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about when I worked at my other job and Hypnotize comes on, people still dance and little kids
I feel like
dance
if
too.
Hypnotize came out right now, like right now, in this climate, and Biggie was as big as Kendrick Lamar, like I feel like it wouldn't be as big because it's a different sound. That's not fair. I feel like Biggie is greater than Kendrick Lamar to last in that climate that he did. I think he is way greater than Kendrick Lamar. But I'm saying rap has gotten so complex over the years that I don't know, man.
Oh, I'll put it to you like this, because to bring it back to you.
Also, I'm more of a Tupac fan than Biggie. I think this is why I'm like.
It doesn't matter. I think what it comes down to is this: taste and perception.
That too.
But the bottom line is, if Kendrick came out in Biggie's era, Kendrick would be nice. If Biggie came out in this era, Biggie would be nice. The only thing that changed is the landscape of the industry.
Yeah.
Because I think Kendrick would have sold more than he does now. Because more hip hop.
I think Kendrick would have outsold Biggie if Kendrick was brought up in the '90s.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think he would have outsold him. I think he would have sold more.
Because Kendrick is top selling artist right now.
But you gotta understand.
Time where albums don't sell.
You're right. Biggie sold albums in time. Albums. Remember, the West Coast sold albums. The East didn't. So Biggie, Biggie, Wu-Tang, and Nas were the only selling artists out of the East Coast.
Jay-Z?
No, not that time. Volume 2 came out after Jay-Z with Biggie died, right?
Yeah.
And that's Jay-Z's highest selling album at the time when Money in the Thing came out.
Yeah, that's
Biggie died when that happened.
Yeah.
So Pac didn't go diamond until he died. Biggie didn't go diamond until he died. But if they were streaming back then, as well as album sales, who's to say?
Dang, it's such a tricky conversation.
Exactly. And then that's why.
But once again, I'm not saying Biggie is overrated. I'm saying I get to see why Lil Yachty would think that. I can see why anybody my age would think that. Doesn't mean they're right, but it doesn't mean that they're 100% wrong because the question is opinion based.
Yeah, it's all perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Except like your phone's overheating, like needs a break or something.
It's all perception. At the end of the day, it all comes back to why we appreciate Savage Savage now. Because you are a perfect bridge of the 90s era to today's sound. Because sonically, the beats are of today. But rhyme technique, you're a 90s MC. And I give you a lot of credit for that because...
That's like the highest compliment you can give me.
Really?
No, seriously. Like, I take so much inspiration from the 90s, really the 80s actually.
Who's your favorite 80s MC?
I was about to say I can't think of the homie name. These are the breaks.
Curtis Blow?
Curtis Blow. I was about to say Curtis Blow, but that's more 70s, no?
No, that's the 80s.
Yeah, alright. Would it be Curtis? No.
Yeah, it shouldn't be Curtis Blow.
Curtis Blow was amazing though.
Yeah.
But because I'm really thinking about like that little gap, what's like later in the 80s.
Okay, so you're talking about Rakim's era?
That's what I was getting ready to say. If we're talking 80s, my favorite is Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, yeah, that's 86, 87, 88.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See, for a split second, I was thinking, oh, he's a 90s rapper. And I was like, nah, wait, like.
Yeah,
wait,
Raw came out in 87, right? Raw? Or the end of 86? At the end of 86, yeah, because remember, he came out, nobody knew who he was. They didn't see him till the next year. That was the marketing he used for his album, his single. Who is this? And nobody could see his face. Then, that album came out, when that song came out, it was like the end of 86. It was out for 3 months, 3 or 4 months, and nobody ever seen Big Daddy Kane.
That's just so hilarious that he went from that to being like one of those sex symbol rappers. You know what I'm saying? That's so ironic.
He's the GOAT. He's one of the GOATs, like you said. So that comes back to that transition from today to now, is that you have articulately placed yourself in a spot where I could turn your beat off and be just as amazed as with the beat on. That's the difference between you and a lot of other people. You know what I want to see somebody do?
What?
I want to see somebody do a Savage edition of Rate the Bars on BET.
That's, you know what's funny? That's one of my dreams. Yo, if y'all could, y'all should make a New Jersey Rate the Bars, like just name it something else.
Well, we're actually working on it.
All right,
we don't want to put all our ideas out because
cool.
People biting still.
Yeah, I know you on live right now, my bad.
No, that's cool. That's cool. And at the end of the day, to sum up this part of the interview, I just want to ask you this question. Technically, an MC moves the crowd, but as a performer who records, it's to catch the attention of the listener. How are you moving to the listener, and how do you gauge their ability to understand?
I learned a lot about I've always knew that I liked rappers like Eminem, but I couldn't understand why. And when I learned more about why, I think that's when my numbers started to switch from Eminem being number 1 in my book to Lupe Fiasco being number 1. And I know that's controversial. He behind the camera like scratching his head right now.
Oh, I'm gonna use that on interview part 2. Yeah, y'all stay tuned for that one, because that's controversy.
Oh yes.
But it's factual.
Yeah, but I was saying that that when Eminem raps, the reason he can rhyme his ass off, but the way that he makes certain things rhymes is with tonality.
Right.
And I didn't understand how important that was. So now, like on tracks like They're On to Something, instead of just saying he's plotting, jotting what others knock is knocking, and the dreams they try to rob him, but I'm more like he's plotting, jotting, and I'm like realizing like what words to like make stand out more to catch the ear.
Right.
And I'm starting to like listen to like, yo, when I'm listening to music, like what's catching my ear, so I can include that in my music. So I think that's what's definitely differentiating me from my peers if they haven't like noticed that.
And a lot of them haven't.